The time was 1946, when an electrical engineer by the name of Paul Klipsch had a dream of creating a better speaker. Paul was no stranger to experimenting with audio, having built his first speaker at the age of 15. He wanted to apply science to speaker design with the goal of bringing the power of a live concert into the home. The subject of today's review is the new 4th generation Klipsch Cornwall. The Cornwall 4 is pretty similar in outward appearance to the Cornwall 3. It is a fairly large floor-standing speaker with a three-way design. You'll find a horn tweeter, horn mid-range, and a front-firing 15-inch woofer in the new Cornwall 4. The woofer is also ported on the front of the cabinet. When you pull the grill off the Cornwall 4, you'll see some of the updates Klipsch incorporated into its new model. It's not a subtle change with a brand new mid-range driver and horn, new tweeter lens, new crossover, new porting system, and some subtle cosmetic updates. The Cornwall 4, like the La Scala and the Heresy, can be placed in corners, against the back wall, away from corners, or slightly out from the wall, towed in just a bit. Each position, like all speakers, will affect the sound, and we recommend, if you have some flexibility, to play around to find out what works best in your room. Being part of the Klipsch Heritage Series, the Cornwall 4 is handmade to order at the Klipsch factory in Hope, Arkansas. All Heritage Series products use only the finest book-match wood veneers, which are arranged to give you a mirror image look where they are spliced together. Every pair of Heritage speakers starts out with grain match panels cut from the same block of wood. They travel together throughout the assembly process to assure you of two natural wood veneer speakers that have almost an identical appearance. Obviously, when you put this level of detail into the cabinets alone, build quality on the Cornwall 4 is just spectacular. It is a speaker you should be able to pass on to the next generation. For this review, we felt a lot of you would really be curious about the upgrades over the Cornwall 3, so we're going to focus more on those than the tech behind a classic Klipsch horn speaker. When we pulled off the grills on the Cornwall 4 before listening, we could see Klipsch took the type of driver used for the mid-range in the Forte 3 and improved upon it even further. The Cornwall 3 had a pretty similar type of mid-range horn as the Heresy, and we thought the Forte 3 was actually better in this critical mid-range area than the Cornwall 3. We contacted Klipsch to get a good understanding of all the updates, and it turns out virtually everything about the Cornwall has been updated in the 4th version except for the 15-inch woofer. Starting with the horn tweeter, the compression driver is the same as the previous model, but they have updated the phase plug, which gives the tweeter a wider coverage pattern in the higher frequencies. The mid-range compression driver is a brand new K702 model coupled with the new Track 6 horn. This new combination produces a much wider soundstage with a bigger sweet spot. Klipsch says the clarity, dynamics, and detail are also much better on the new Cornwall 4. Not only do you get more detail, but the sound is even smoother and sweeter with the new Track 6 design and the K702. Both of these updates should contribute to a speaker that can give you a more three-dimensional soundstage while maintaining the power and impact of a great horn design. Klipsch has also applied their Track 6 technology to the front-firing ports for the 15-inch woofer. These improve the speed and tightness of the low end. The crossover has been totally updated using audiophile-grade components. Klipsch used the voicing from the Klipsch horn and La Scala and changed the crossover slopes to better match with the new K702 and Track 6 horn. According to Klipsch, they were able to use steeper slopes than on the Cornwall 3. The wiring between the speaker connections, crossover, and the drivers is also a higher performance wire than in the previous model. And finally, the dual binding posts on the rear have been updated to better performing parts. Cosmetically, Klipsch has moved to a matte black finish on all risers, which on the wood finishes gives the speaker a look like it's floating. The front bezel is thinner, and they've given the grill some subtle cosmetic improvements too. Instead of the classic Klipsch horn logo in the corner, the Cornwall 4 now has a scripted Cornwall in the top center of the grill. One complaint some people have had over the years is that horns sounded a bit harsh to their ears, but as drivers and the actual horn itself has improved, any trace of harshness has disappeared. If you have not heard a Klipsch Heritage Series speaker in years, you might want to give them a listen. The emotional quality of the music they can convey to you is something pretty special. After spending about an hour listening to the Cornwall 4, we have to say they sound like a Forte 3 on steroids. In other words, very impressive. We connected them up to a low-power integrated amp and proceeded to play some of our favorite comparison tracks. The first thing that jumps out at you, literally, is how dynamic they are. On Dave Matthews' Gravedigger, the drums just exploded into the room. His voice was dead center and just the right size, but it felt like a band was in front of us with all the dynamics and power we were feeling. One cut that had really impressed us on the Forte 3 was Whole Lotta Love from Led Zeppelin. All of the percussion and guitars in the middle of the song when things are moving from left to right had sounded very big on the Forte 3 and much smaller on the Heresy. We had suspected it was due to the new Track 6 horn, and this was confirmed with the Cornwall 4. Everything just moved all around the room. If you love the feeling you get at a live concert, the Cornwall 4 will get you really close, yet it has the finesse for light jazz and classical. Voices also sound very open and effortless with the new mid-range driver. These are not your grandfather's horn speakers. One big upside is the fact that you can drive them to extreme levels with very little power, so there's no need to invest in an expensive high-powered amplifier. If you are searching for a performance speaker anywhere near this price range, you owe it to yourself to give the Cornwall 4 a listen. The updates to the performance will likely win over many music lovers who shrugged off horn speakers in the past. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel. On our channel, we review high-performance audio components from all over the world. And thanks for watching.